What if you could have a 10-10 protection from everything on the battlefield on turn 3 in Standard? That's what we're going to try to do today. So here is our Kona in Progenitus deck for Standard. And the idea of this deck is to get a 10-10 protection from everything Progenitus on the battlefield as quickly as possible. So if you don't remember Progenitus, it's like a 15-year-old mythic back in Standard for the first time in forever with Foundations. It's double Wooburg for a 10-mana 10-10 with protection from everything. And everything, it means everything. Our opponent can't damage it, they can't target it, they can't kill it. Pretty much the only thing that isn't part of everything in Standard is Sunfall. Other sweepers can still kill it. I guess an Edict if you get unlucky. So we're trying to get Progenitus down as fast as possible. Since it's a 10-10 that's essentially unblockable and unkillable, it's usually a 2-turn kill clock. Backing up Progenitus, we got Vaultborn Tyrant. And Vaultborn Tyrant isn't going to close out the game like Progenitus will, but it's going to gain us some life and draw some cards to hopefully find the Progenitus to close out the game. So how are we cheating these massive things into play, maybe on turn 3? Well, answer number 1. Kona Rescue Beastie. So Kona, a 4-mana 4/3 that has survival. So in the beginning of our second main phase, if it's tapped, we get to put a permanent card from our hand on the battlefield. So all we need to do to get a Progenitus in play is have Progenitus in hand, play Kona, have way to tap Kona, and we just get to dump the double Wooburg Progenitus into play for free. So we have a bunch of ways to tap Kona. Ideally, we're not going to have to get in combat with Kona. Like, yes, in theory, we can like play Kona and the next turn attack with Kona, and then it's tapped in our post-combat main phase, but it's much easier to play vehicles like Cultivator's Caravan, Unidentified Hovership. We even have a land in Scene of the Crime that can tap Kona, so this speeds up the process a ton. We can play Kona, immediately tap it to crew one of the vehicles, and then go to our second main phase, dump a Progenitus into play, dump a Vaultborn Tyrant into play. The vehicles are pretty good too, like Cultivator's Caravan, another Foundations edition, really nice in the deck because it can also just ramp us into Vaultborn Tyrant, or even, I guess, Progenitus, technically, maybe. Unidentified Hovership gives us some removal. We also have Llanowar Elves, and this is for our nut draw. So the fastest Progenitus that we can pull off. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Cultivator's Caravan. That lets us turn 3 Kona, crew the vehicle with the Kona, and just immediately dump Progenitus into play. And a turn 3 Progenitus should be enough to beat pretty much any deck in the format. We also have Smuggler's Surprise. So this is just our backup way to cheat things into play. We just get up to 6 mana, put 2 creatures into play from our hand, hopefully a Progenitus and a Vaultborn Tyrant or whatever to win the game. It's worth mentioning, there's a little non-bo here. The first mode on Smuggler's Surprise is mill 4 cards, and then you put 2 creatures or lands from among the milled cards into your hand. The problem here is Progenitus' other ability. If it goes to your graveyard from anywhere, you gotta reveal it and shuffle it into your library. So if we hit a Progenitus with Smuggler's Surprise, we don't actually get to put it into our hand, it just shuffles back into our deck. But that really doesn't matter, because we're not playing it to dig for Progenitus. We're playing it to be able to put a Progenitus into play. Rounding out the deck, Helpful Hunter draws to our deck, Archdruid's Jarb. Actually insane in this deck. It can tutor up Kona, it can tutor up Progenitus, it can kill something, it can exile an artifact or enchantment. Mana base pretty straightforward outside of the Scene of the Crime, which is just another way to tap Kona without attacking. In the sideboard, we get some life gain, a bunch of removal, some graveyard hate, a few creatures that we can tutor up with Archdruid's Charm, like Biza for life gain, Lorna to deal with artifacts and enchantments, Scavenging Ooze for the graveyard, Paw Patch Formation is a catch-all, and that is Kona in Progenitus for Standard. That's our deck for today, so let's jump into some games and see just how quickly we can get a 10-10 protection from everything on the battlefield. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. It is Progenitus time. We're going to see if we can put the most protected creature in Magic into play maybe as soon as turn 3 with Kona. Let's see if this janky pile can actually work. This hand, I mean, we can ramp into a Vaultborn Tyrant with a Cultivator's Caravan, and we can Surveil twice. I guess this is, I mean, it's sketchy, but it's fine sketchy. Let's see what our opponent's up to. Vaultborn Tyrant's kind of our backup cheating to play thing. Progenitus is to end the game. Vaultborn Tyrant is to not die. The life gain's pretty hell. And I mean, it's big, right? 6/6 Trampler that comes back when it dies. It's a good card. Perhaps the best card to come from The vault. About it. Starts with a creature land. Well, ooh, Smuggler's Surprise. Alright. One of the weird non-bows in this deck, the Smuggler's Surprise mill mode, if we mill Progenitus, it shuffles... Oh, not up the beanstalk. It shuffles back into our deck. I think it's still worth it, but let's play a fast land, pass the turn. I mean, it's worth it because we're playing it to put Progenitus into play. It's our backup to Kona. Opponent, Lush Portico. Gonna do a little surveilling to the top. Going to pass. We draw an unidentified hover ship. Don't know if that's gonna. Well, it might get one of the avatars eventually, an Overlord. I don't know how many cheap creatures our opponent has. We'll see. But it is important. Like, so for the Kona plan to work, we need ways to tap it without attacking. All right. Well, surprise. Let's mill some cards. See if we can hit some creatures or lands. Please not Progenitus. Oh god. I think it means yep. Progenitus land 2 hover chips. Well, we get a land out of it. Ooh, Archdruid's Charm. Huh. Well, let's play Cultivator's Caravan. Get down the Lush Portico. So we're up to what, 5 mana? So we can cast a Vaultborn in 2 turns? I mean, I guess we're gonna keep it because Smuggler's Surprise is so good. Last time it drew us a land for 3 mana. Pretty impressive. We'd like to find another big creature. That would be the best. Like, if we can find another big creature, then we can put Vaultborn and that creature into play. Maybe we could set up over 2 turns. We'll see what our opponent does, how much pressure we're under. We could Archdruid's Charm to find Progenitus, and then put Vaultborn Progenitus into play with Smuggler's Surprise. Boiler Biggles. All right, opponent, gonna bore us with the Boiler Biggles and draw a card with Up the Beanstalk. Down to 16. Well, at least it's not in creature mode. Well, there's our never-ending supply of Smuggler's Surprises. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just pass and see what happens. So we can put Vaultborn Tyrant to play at instant speed. We can Archdruid's Charm to set up a even better Smuggler's Surprise next turn. Overlord of the Mistmoors draws a card. Also, Archdruid's Charm, pretty good at sniping enchantments. Like, we can just exile one of these enchantments if we need to. Gonna make some flyers. Let's see what we can find. Let's Archdruid's Charm. Do a little tutoring. Do we just... Yeah, let's go Vaultborn Tyrant. I know we're here to play Progenitus, but I think what we can do is we put 2 Vaultborn Tyrants into play, and hopefully that draws us into a Progenitus that we can put into play the next turn with the second Smuggler's Surprise. That would be the best outcome to this. That's what we would like to happen. Whether or not it will happen, that is a whole nother question. But yeah, opponent unimpends. Cultivator's Caravan. Well, let's play Cavern on... Yeah, let's go Avatar. I don't think we're going to be using Cavern in this matchup anyway. We could just cast the Vaultborn Tyrant. It's got to be better just put them both into play at instant speed, right? We get so many triggers and so much life and so many cards. I feel like the Vaultborns might be able to go toe-to-toe with these Overlords. Come on. Opponent, Boiler Biggles Part 2. Opponent could be playing these as creatures, but is intentionally choosing not to. I don't know if they're, like, afraid of us having a sweeper or something. Well, down to 12 for now. Leyline Binding, going after our Cultivator's Caravan. Wait, can we do shenanigans here? Does this work? So if we, like, make a mana, we can Smuggler's Surprise to put the Vaultborns into play. We can spree for creatures you control power 4 greater get indestructible, and then crew the Cultivator's Caravan. Does this actually... Oh, I don't think... All right, I don't think this is actually going to work, is it? Well, we get a bunch of Vaultborn Tyrants, which is the important thing. Yeah, because, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure this doesn't work because the spell's already resolved and it wasn't in creature form. The good news is we gain 12. We draw 4. Well, there's a Kona. Opponent gonna unimpend. Another Archdruid's Charm's also fine. This game's gonna get wild. I mean, I guess we just play the Kona. We don't have anything great to put into play, but it does double trigger Vaultborn. more Smuggler's Surprises. And then I guess we just do a little hovering. Do a little hovering on the insect. And, I mean, I guess we might as well put something into play. We don't have a big bomb to put into play, but might as well get that Kona value. Go to combat, get it hit ya. Here comes the dinosaurs. Opponent gonna do a little chumping. I mean, this is still a pretty good attack. Opponent's taking what? 11? Pretty good. Let's put another Cultivator's Caravan into play. We could play Llanowar. Let's just pass. They could have a sweeper of some kind. Well, okay, opponent. Your Overlords are not enough. You need some oh god, Sunfall. My favorite card in Standard, Sunfall. All right, well, there goes all of our dinosaurs. And a Leyline Binding to draw a card. All right, well, now this is getting kind of sketchy because these overlords are going to start unimpending. Man, our big dinosaur. See, we needed... Actually, Progenitus wouldn't have mattered there, would it? That's the one thing about Progenitus. Protection from everything means everything, except for Sunfall. Sunfall is not part of everything. Well, let's... Boy. Oh, this Overlord. We are at 30, which is good. Let's play Llanowar. That will take care of all of our problems here. Oh, I really don't know how to play this. Let's get rid of the Boiler Biggles. And then we can chip in for 2 with the UFO. Hit you down to 7. We're going to have to piece together these last 7 points of damage. It is going to be tough. We could also just use a Progenitus. Like, maybe the easiest way to win this. Maybe we should let the Boiler Biggles... Herd Migration, draw a card. Maybe we should let the Boiler Biggles live and try to go 2-drop Progenitus, put it into play end step, and just one-shot. That might be the most realistic way of winning here, is just finding the Progenitus and putting it into play after our opponent's turn so they can't Sunfall it. Can't block it. Blocking is everything. Opponent going to get lost to Llanowar, I guess. I mean, you got the removals, so you might as well. Come on, deck. We need a good draw. How about a Progenitus? Progenitus would be sweet. Or a Forest. Well... 1, 2, 3. Let's Smuggler's Surprise. Just do some digging. Actually, maybe we just go 8-mana mode because we can put anything we hit into play. Kona and wow. Kona and Catron. Well, we will take the Kona. We will take the cat. Can we find a Progenitus off the cat? That would be insane. Come on, cat. Come on, cat. Llanowar. All right. Well, I mean, crew it up and put a land into play, I guess. Sure. All right, this Kona's been pretty powerful so far. Llanowars and lands, we're doing it. Well, let's crack the map. Archdruid's Charm, we will keep that. And Llanowar, and go. Well, let's see what our opponent's got. How long can we survive is the other question. These flying blockers are actually really big, or we might be able to get them with the hover ship. Well, we'll take 6 down to 23. Overlord of the Mistmoors Part 2. So, can this Archdruid's Charm save us? We're at 23. Overlord of the Hauntwoods draws a card. Impend mode. That's a lot of damage. Opponent's got a big board. Boiler Biggles unimpends. Well, we untap. 1, 2, 3... I feel like we're too far behind. Let's Archdruid's Charm, Tutor. Grab the Progenitus. I don't know if this is going to be enough or not. I mean, we can use Kona to put Progenitus into play. Do we survive the backswing? Math is for blockers, so I haven't bothered to count. I mean, our opponent can Sunfall, but if they Sunfall, they are also nuking a huge percentage of their board. If our opponent can't kill us and they can't Sunfall, we have protection from everything. Opponent's at 5. Progenitus will get this done. Do we survive the turn is the question. Opponent. Thinking, counting, reading, protection from everything on Progenitus. Are we going to take down all the overlords in the world with... with a Progenitus? I mean, the fact that our opponent hasn't done anything yet is somewhat encouraging. I think means they don't just obviously have the win. Oh, God. So they're going to get 2 Mistmoors, 2 Boiler Biggles. That hits us for 10. Oh, that probably does kill us, doesn't it? I mean, Progenitus can soak up an attack. We can crew the hover ship with one of the dying creatures to soak up another attack. We can make a fish to soak up an attack. This is actually going to be very close. I mean, at least that used most of our opponent's mana. Opponent makes a ton of flyers. Not exactly relevant because they can't stop Progenitus. All right, Llanowar down. Are we dead? So we can attack with 1, 2, 3, 4 flyers, 3 ground. We might be dead. Up the beanstalk, sure. Wait, are we not dead? Is there a chance we're not dead? Attacks. The fact that they threw the damage at our creatures means that we're still at 23, which I think, wow. They didn't even attack with the flyers? I think we're good then. Like, Progenitus, protection from everything. Opponent shoots down the UFO. Sure. I mean, Progenitus gonna kill a Boiler Biggles. And Progenitus? I mean, everything does mean everything at this point, including a huge wall of blockers. And got him? All right. I cannot believe we won that game. Jeez. Our opponent popped off with Overlords and up the beanstalk, and in the end, Progenitus just better, apparently. Well, let's bring in some enchantment removal. Invasion of Gabakon seems reasonable. And then I guess we just do, we'll trim like a caravan, probably a couple cats, run it like that. All right. On to game number 2, we're going to be on the draw. Avatars, well, Overlords, I guess, versus, well, I guess Avatars Progenitus. The Avatar battle, it's the Avatar Wars. All right, opponent. What do you, oh, yeah. All right, well, no land, no keep. Ooh, okay. I mean, our Druids are in Smuggler Surprise. We need a lot of mana, but actually, do we even keep the Smuggler Surprise? I think we don't. I think we go with, we have the vehicles. We can Archdruid's Charm to get a Kona and then put it into, this might actually work. This might actually work. So next turn we vehicle. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of turns, isn't it? I mean, I think we're going to be able to put a Progenitus into play. The question's going to be, do they have Sunfall? The one thing that is apparently not everything. Actually, in case you're new and you don't understand how it works, so protection essentially means it can't be targeted or damaged or blocked by anything. So Sunfall gets around it because it's not damage based. It also doesn't target. The other thing that can kill Progenitus would be an edict, like target player sacks a creature if you don't have something else to sacrifice. But really, that's pretty much it. Wraths can get it, not damage wraths, like a Blasphemous Act will not kill a Progenitus, but a Sunfall, sadly, will. Opponent, gonna Leyline Binding our Cultivator's Caravan. Yeah, that does slow us down. Lush Portico. Well, I mean, I guess we play it. Brush land, going to the graveyard. And I mean, pass the turn. Oh, opponent. We can Archdruid's Charm for something. It's just so slow. Opponent is very committed to the impending their Overlord plan. Like, they've had a lot of times they could have cast at creature mode, and they just played as an enchantment, which I guess makes sense. Makes sense this case if they're planning on keep harvesting to do a little more ramping. Doppelgang is scary. Now that I know our opponent has Doppelgang, I'm very worried about this matchup because we have some, you can't Doppelgang a Progenitus actually, but Volborn Tyrant, pretty good target. Yeah, let's just play this Lorien Revealed. Blow up the Leyline Binding. This gets us the mana so we can still Archdruid's Charm. Maybe we can set it up to do it all in one turn. Like if we draw one more land, Boiler Biggles. Impending. Are we taking down Lorien? Yeah, all right, Lorien down. I mean, the opponent's only got 2 cards. That's not a huge number. What do we do with this Archdruid's Charm? I guess we could also just ramp and just hardcast the Volborn Tyrant. Yeah, let's go with Kona. Like, can we draw a land? If we draw, well, I guess we can do it with the caravan. All right, I mean, I think it's Progenitus time, hopefully. Our opponent could have Leyline Binding. Oh, do we just cast, yeah, let's just cast Volborn. I think this is safer. If we go on the Kona Progenitus plan and they have Leyline Binding, we get so blown out. More hover ships. Can you beat a Volborn Tyrant? And this also, if it forces our opponent to Sunfall, it's gonna make the Progenitus way more game ending if we can get this. Oh dear. Oh dear. Doppelgang. Okay, that's, I mean, I can appreciate a good doppelganging. That was a very good doppelgang. Oh, that's an insanely good doppelgang. All right, so double Boiler Biggles, double Volborn Tyrant. We do not have Sunfall. Opponent's going to gain an insane amount of life, draw an absurd number of cards. You have Volborn Tyrant. Well, that's why it's in our deck, because it's very good. Little less good when our opponent's double comping it with Doppelgang, though. Yeah, we might be losing this one. I mean, we should be able to put the Progenitus into play. We can hover ship to get rid of a Boiler Biggles. That's just so much to deal with. We need a spectacular draw here. I don't even know what it is because we don't have a Wrath. All right, Archer with Charm, that's something. I mean, thankfully they're token copies of Vaultborn, so if they die, they don't get another copy. I think we just got a Progenitus, right? Like, what else? The thing is, our opponent's at 47. That is a lot of Progenitus attacks. One of the upsides of Progenitus is a 10-10, usually a 2-turn clock, so you don't got to keep it around that long. Sadly, with our opponent at 47, that is a lot of turns of Progenitus attacking. Well, let's crew up the hover ship with the Kona. No attacks. Kona. We would like to put a Progenitus into play. Draw a card, gain some life, protection from everything. And, all right, go ahead. What do we got? The problem is they have a very full hand of, their hand has to be insane. Their hand has to be so insane. I'm pretty sure if they deal with our board here, we're just done. Like, I don't think, with them at so much life and with so many cards, I don't think we can realistically, even with the power of Progenitus, get back into this game. Well, we're going to get rid of the Vaultborn Tyrants. Take the Biggles, down to 12. Vaultborn Tyrant going to trigger, make a copy, draw a card, gain some life. And, boy, the Achilles heel of Progenitus, Sunfall to deal with the board. Well, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Yeah, these Overlords are going to start unimpending too soon. That is also a bit of a concern. Finds a forest. Unimpends a million times. Well, okay, we found a cat. Help us, helpful hunter. A land. Well, I mean, so we can hover ship. Wow. I'm not sure the point of that, but sure. That is kind of a scary flex. Like, if our opponent's throwing Make Disappears at their own creatures for basically no value, that is a pretty good sign that they are feeling good about this game. What do you got? Ugh, Herd Migration. All right. 3/5/5s. We don't have a Wrath, so there's not really anything we can draw that saves us from this situation. Opponent gonna crack the map. Top card is up the beanstalk. Yeah, you got it. Opponent, another get lost. So what do we learn about that? Well, Progenitus does not like Sunfall. I think the solution to that is we just need to Progenitus faster. We need to Progenitus and kill our opponent before they can start Sunfalling. How realistic that is, that's another question. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe we get a nut draw. We will play first this hand. Man, we need Kona. We're a Kona away from the nut draw. Turn 1 Llanowar. Turn 2 Cultivator's Caravan. Turn 3 Kona, Crew, Progenitus. We just need to find a Kona. Oh my, that's a Kona. That's a Kona. Okay, wait. Is this turn 3 Progenitus? I think we turn 3 Progenitus. Oh, I think we did it. Oh my god. Oh, it's going to be fast enough. Come on, no removal, opponent passes. Wow, we don't even have an untapped land, but we don't need it. Kona, rescue Beastie. And we will crew up this Cultivator's Caravan. It's tapped, doesn't matter. We just need our Kona tapped. Post-combat, we survived, and that is Progenitus on turn 3. On turn 3, and if they beat this, I don't know what to say. This is the best draw our deck can have. This is literally the dream draw, the nut draw, the best possible draw. If they survive this, then I don't even know what Progenitus is doing anymore. All right, we draw land, doesn't really matter. Play the land. I guess we do a little Smuggler's Surprising just to... Actually, I don't even know. Does it even matter? Yeah, I guess we could Smuggler's Surprise to find something to put into play with Kona. Well, Smuggler's Surprise. Mill. All right. We always hit a Progenitus, but we did hit a Vaultborn Tyrant. That's good. Well, let's crew up this Cultivator's Caravan. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 4. And then this Vaultborn Tyrant should be the seal deal, right? Let's say they have Day of Judgment, which they shouldn't have, but they could have. Even if they Wrath here, we get a Vaultborn Tyrant to finish the game. And turn 3 Progenitus, gonna do it. Protection from everything, still good. Even in 2024, opponent, Cavern on Avatar, sure. And Overlord of the Mistmoors, good card, doesn't matter because we have Progenitus, and there's the GG, and turn 3 Progenitus. Kind of absurd. What a match. Grindy, Sunfall the Nightmare, and then in the end, turn 3 Progenitus. Yeah, protection from everything does mean your insect blockers, and opponent gonna jump, doesn't matter because it turns out Progenitus, going to be good enough, and, well, couldn't be hard to top that. That was literally the best possible draw at the best possible time. I mean, we got the Kona. We have a way to tap it without getting into combat, and no Progenitus, but Vaultborn Tyrant's good. Warden of the Inner Sky, opponent being a little aggro over there. Well, let's play our helpful Hunter, see if we can draw a Llanowar. Okay, success. Opponent, Warden of the Inner Sky. It's gonna be interesting. So opponent's definitely aggro. Can we be fast enough? Let's play the cult. I mean, we get to put, in theory, I mean, I guess we play this Llanowar. In theory, we get to put Vaultborn into play next turn, right? Like, hopefully, perhaps, if our opponent can't counter or kill Kona. Maybe Kona's busted now. Getting these new vehicles helps. Like Cultivator's Caravan, it's a legit vehicle, right? It does what you want to do in a deck like this, because not only does it let us tap our Kona, but it also gives us a backup plan of just ramping into, well, not Progenitus, but like Vaultborn Tyrant. More Llanowar Elves. Well, I mean, we came here to Kona, Kona we will. Play the Kona. Crew the Cultivator Caravan. We probably should have tapped differently. Huh, all right. Yeah, we could have tapped the Llanowar Elves and attacked for 5 here, so it's a little awkward. Do we even want... Yeah, I don't think we want a second Smuggler Surprise. Well, play the Llanowar. Yeah, get in for 1. And Vaultborn Tyrant. Not bad, not bad. Kona, doing some work. Pass turn. The problem is their stuff's going to get evasion. Oh. Well, the real problem is their stuff's going to exile our Vaultborn Tyrant, and we can't stop it. Sheltered by Ghost. Pretty good card. I'm curious your experiences with Sheltered by Ghost in non-enchantment decks. I think it's obviously insane in enchantment decks. I've seen it more and more as just a removal spell in random creature decks. I wonder if it's actually that good. You still have the blowout potential, right? If the creature dies in response, but I guess if you get the timing right. Oh, well, I mean, Smuggler Surprise. This is where it's very sad that we can't actually hit Progenitus. Well, Lush Portico and I guess a backup Kona. Play the Surveil Land, mill the Forest. Yeah, let's just pass. Yes, it's a tough spot. I don't think we can win the race. We probably need to block with Kona if we can on like the Rabbit, and then we can play the second one, so we still have the combo potential if we find Progenitus. Opponent's doing this with 2 lands too. Although I guess they're not a land heavy deck. We really need, oh no. Oh, Flying Bunnycorn's gonna be a problem. Mockingbird on the Bunnycorn. Yeah, this evasion. But opponent has not been very aggressive. They've just been building up their team, but it's working. Warden now also gets flying. I mean, if our opponent attacks, we will trade in an instant. I guess we just trade with the Caravan. At least it gets a permanent off the battlefield. That's something. So we need not Brushland. We probably need another Vaultborn Tyrant, honestly. I guess we do some attacking. Their stuff's all going to be flying anyway, so playing defense doesn't do much. Land into play with Kona. Oh, boom. Yeah, we needed that Vaultborn Tyrant to live. Sheltered by Ghost, really, really good there. Johnny, Color of the Pride. Ooh. Wow, that is kind of scary with Flying Bunnycorn. Double Strike. Double Strike is going to be a lot of damage. Takes it up. I guess that's kind of cute too. You can get counters on it to send it to the air. We need a removal spell right now. We need a removal spell to kill the Warden, to get back our Vaultborn Tyrant, to start gaining life and drawing cards. All right, cat jump. But we need it this turn or we're going to be essentially, we're literally dead, I think, next turn. Come on, deck. Cavern of Souls. Yeah. I mean, the Ajani can just send things to the air with double strike, so there's no surviving that. Well, let's bring in the split ups, bring in some more removals. What do we cut though? It's always the hard part. I guess we cut some cats. Maybe a Smuggler Surprise and more cats, I guess. All right, on to game number 2. We're gonna be on the play, which hopefully is a good thing. This matchup seems sketchy though. Opponent is pretty aggro. All right, I mean, we're going to keep this. We need the Kona and I guess another land, but we got the Progenitus. Leyline Axe. Oh. All right. We're going to keep the Llanowar, I think. It's like a risky land. It's a land that our opponent can kill. Novice Inspector for our opponent. Well, play the land. Get down the land of war. All right, come on, Kona. Come on, Kona. Regal Bunnycorn. Already a 4/4. Is Bunnycorn just better Tarmogoyf? It's Tarmogoyf without any of the downsides of Tarmogoyf. You don't got to care about the graveyard or card types. It just gets so big. Well, let's play Cultivator's Caravan. And I guess pass the turn. We can potentially Paw Patch Formation something. Sheltered by Ghosts. Well, I mean, I guess that's fine, right? Not a bad target for our Paw Patch. Blow up the enchantment. All right, so we get to keep our Caravan. We need Kona. We need Kona off the top right now. Magic Gods, Kona, please. Well, I mean, next turn, untap land would also been good. Then we could Smuggler Surprise. I guess we can just Smuggler Surprise next turn. Volborn Tire Progenitus, not bad. All right, opponent, Bunnycorn. Actually, I'm now scared of the Leyline Axe. Oh, now I'm really, really scared of the Leyline Axe. Wait, so I can like, oh, that's so many Bunnycorns. What is this draw? Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 8. I mean, we can do our thing. Wow, there's the Kona. Would have been so good a turn ago. Well, all right, pass the turn. If they got a counter, they got us. We got to do it by surprise because we got to hope they attack wrongly or they don't equip the Leyline Axe. The thing is, opponent sees the line. Leyline Axe on the Bunnycorn. So I'm pretty sure we can put Progenitus and Volborn into play and we still just lose, which is very awkward. Yeah, Volborn, Progenitus, put him into play, draw some cards, gain some life, get some blockers, but, well, we lost to Leyline Axe in Standard. We can't stop the 7/7 flying double striking Regal Bunnycorn. Progenitus time. Hopefully Progenitus time. We're trying to Kona some Progeniti into play. This hand, all right, we can deal with this. The Archdruid's Charm seems decent. Archdruid Charm probably looks weird. I think the card's actually really good though. Like, I think the problem is triple green. We have kind of skewed our mana base to try to make it consistent. All right, cut down the elf. The 2024 standard edition of Bolt the Bird. Yeah, we have to. I don't really want to mill it and let our opponent know it's there, but what can we do? Apparently leave a 7-drop on top. Yeah, let's play the Helpful Hunter first, see what land we draw. Getting punished by our Fountain Port here. As I talk up Archdruid's Charm and then not be able to cast it. Opponent, nowhere to run the cat. Sure, that's fine. All right, Hover Ship. But all that to say, like, if your mana base can support it, the combination of being a fine tutor, being able to not just destroy, but exile an artifact or enchantment, or ramp, or fight something, like, it's actually just a really good card. Like, it's really good. Let's unidentified hover ship. UFO, just call the UFO. Opponent, oh, they discarded a Velgavoth. That is concerning. If they just reanimate Velgavoth, all of the UFOs in the world are not going to save us from that. And our Progenitus, little late to this party. No Progenitus. Yeah, opponent discards a Bitter Triumph. Well, there's our land. Keep the brush land, I guess. And yeah, I mean, I guess we just keep abducting these silly 2-drops. Doll abduction. The Dow's not the problem, though. The problem is Velgavoth. Let's see if our opponent has. There should be a 4 mana this turn. That is Zombify mana if they have it. Oh, I see them looking at the graveyard. That is a bad sign. Right of the Moth on Velgavoth. I mean, is there any realistic way out of this? So we can Archdruid's Charm. I mean, I guess we can Archdruid's Charm ramp. We do have 2 hover ships. Liliana. We do have 2 hover ships that are potential sack fodder to pay the ward, but I don't think there's any coming back. Velgavoth, too good. What do we have to stop Velgavoth? Scavenging Goose gets a graveyard. Frillback gets a graveyard. Rest in Peace gets a graveyard. Split Up can kill Velgavoth without targeting it, which is nice. I've really come around on Split Up. I think Split Up's actually like a pretty reasonable card. Yeah, I mean, I guess we do some trimming, bring in ways to kill Velgavoth and some graveyard hate, and hope for the best. All right, on to game number 2. We're going to be on the play. I mean, it can't go any worse than last game. Last game, we just got Velgavoth smacked. This hand's pretty good. We got the Kona, we got a Vaultborn Tyrant. We also have a split up, so we have a way to kill Valgavoth, which is what we were missing last game. Show us what you got. Swamp. Duress. Ooh, all right, what did they take? Kind of an interesting one. You're gonna take the Smuggler's Surprise. I guess that makes sense. Like, if we get to 6 mana, that is a scary card. I'm kind of okay with that, though. I really like having the split up in hand, just to make sure what happened last game doesn't happen to us again. Opponent surveils away a land. Well, okay, now we have plenty of split ups. We're actually gonna run out this hover ship for no value, just so we have a way to tap this Kona next turn if we draw land, and then we can get down the Vaultborn Tyrant, which would be sweet. I think this is my least favorite battlefield on Arena. I don't know why. This Elish Norn battlefield, it's just, I don't like it. It's on, ooh, oh, rest in peace. Well, that's not awkward. That is pretty good. So our graveyard is locked down. That's fine, though, because our opponent's graveyard's locked down, and their graveyard way more meaningful this matchup. Opponent with the tap land. Well, now we don't got to worry about reanimation Valgavoth. I guess they could eventually hardcast it. Liliana. We would still love to draw a land. That would be the best opponent going to take up. The rest in peace does shut down our Vaultborn Tyrant Death trigger, too, but land. All right, Scavenging Ooze. Not a land, but something we can cast. And then we get to grip the hover ship, smack the Lily a bit. Down to 2. Well, we drew all of our graveyard hate. Ooze not really necessary once we have the rest in peace, but it's a 2/2. It does things-ish. Now, are we discarding both split ups? Maybe we just trust that the graveyard hate's gonna have Valgavoth covered. Like, if they actually hardcast Valgavoth, we probably deserve to lose to that, I guess. Ooh, are we killing the Ooze? Anoint with Affliction. All right, Ooze down. Land. Oh, gosh. Finally. All right, Kona. And Crew. And Combat. And Lily. And Vaultborn Tyrant for free. I mean, Kona is so strong when it works. It's so good when it works. Well, pass the turd. Opponent, can you beat a Kona and a Dino? They need something big. They need like a Sunfall. Opponent needs a sweeper, and opponent does not have a sweeper. Scoops it up, and all right, not a Progenitus, but Kona with the Dino. Good enough that game. No fee. What? These arena usernames. Not that I can say much. Saffron Olive. No one knows what that means anyway. Opponent land. This hand looks pretty good. I like the Archdruid's Charm here. All right, just kidding. I liked the Archdruid's Charm here. Well, let's get down the Llanowar Elves. I mean, maybe we just ramp into this Vaultborn Tyrant. What do you got about it? What do you got? Swamp. Yeah, we just need any action. The Lush Portico's nice. Okay, well, opponent is just going to totally strip our hand. We have literally all mana now. Well, there's another Vaultborn Tyrant. Lush Portico. Yeah, we'll keep a hover ship. That could have some value. The problem is, well, the good news is there's no Valgavoth in the graveyard yet. Our opponents just cast discard. The bad news is, well, all right, that Duress is going to be a whiff. Bad news is we don't have a way to stop. If they can get Valgavoth in the graveyard, we don't have a way to stop them from reanimating at the moment. Wow, opponent's got a weird hand. They just have all the discard and removal, but none of the threats apparently. Opponent. Wow, passing. All right, well, play the land and pass the turn. Opponent. All right, land number 4. And man, that Archer was Progenitus. Man, if we can draw Smuggler's Surprise, it would be so good. It would be so good. Kona would also be good. We could run out the hover ship just for tapping Kona purposes. Hopefully we don't regret not running it out. I feel like it's worth holding on to for removal, but maybe it's silly against this deck. I don't know how much how many small creatures are they actually going to have? It's probably just going to be graveyard filling stuff. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze. I mean, there's nothing good to exile, but a little awkward to play it here, but I think we do. It's better than doing nothing. This does let our opponent theoretically kill it before we can use it to stop a Valgavoth, but what else are we going to do? Just pass with 4 cards in hand? That sounds kind of crazy. Opponent going to Bitter Triumph our Ooze. Well, we are going to exile the graveyard. I don't think exiling these cards actually does anything, but we weren't doing anything else with the mana, so it makes us feel like we were doing something. It makes us feel like we are impacting this game, even though really, I'm pretty sure this is just a waste of 4 mana. But, all right, graveyard, officially empty. How do you like us now, Nofi? Navi. Can we just draw Smuggler's Surprise? Opponent's going to Demolition Field. Well, we do have another forest. Only one, though. Oh, hopefully you don't draw another one. If our opponent... they wouldn't know, right, that they have a Strip Mine if they draw another one. So they might not activate it, but they would have a Strip Mine if they draw another one. Their deck looked very scary game one. With the, like, turn 4 Valgavoth. Oh, the sad Beseech the Mirror. Beseech the Mirror feels so bad when you can't bargain it, but you gotta do it sometimes. You gotta do what you gotta do. Opponent tutors for format. Wow. Okay. Well, we're just gonna pass the turn. Pay no mind. Pay no mind, opponent. Pay no mind. Liliana. Oh no. Whatever will we do? Is that what they tutored up? I guess that could make sense, right? Liliana lets them discard Valgavoth. The problem for our opponent is, I think they're literally dead here. So we discard the hover ship. And at the end of our opponent's turn, okay, they discard Atraxa. End of turn, we have a surprise opponent. Surprise! 6 mana, Voltborn Tyrant, Progenitus. That is 16 power. Opponent, 16 life. And wow, it's a lot of Voltborn Tyrants. Combat, attack, and GG. No one expects the Progenitus. No one expects the Progenitus. Cool. All right, just kidding. It's unidentifiable hover ship tribal. So many hover ships, so little identity. Well, Razorbird's Thicket, Llanowar Elves, go. This anime Llanowar I've come around on it. Oh no, mono red. Ugh. Okay, well, the 2 hover ships should be good. At least that's some cheap removal. We have, for our deck, a surprising amount of early game removal. Lightning Strike the Elf. Well, kind of fine with that. Plus, we're just going to draw another one anyway. Yeah, the anime Llanowar Elf, at first I was kind of like, meh. It looks pretty nice. I don't even like anime, and it looks nice. Opponent, Ember Heart Challenger. I don't even know if it's fair to say I don't like anime. I just don't watch anime, so I don't know anime. I might like it if I actually watched it. Opponent, Mountain. Well, let's play the land. Do a little hovering. Get rid of the Ember Heart Challenger. And, yeah, Elf Aggro. Smack you with the Llanowar. Go. We're getting to the point where we need to draw something big. Ugh, Manifold Mouse with a baby. Yeah, I mean, that is a scary one. Yeah, Manifold Mouse, very good. Very, very good. Double Strike and Trample is a powerful combination. Ugh, even more lands. Well, Fountain Port. And I guess we keep on hovering. We'll snag, I guess, the real one. Maybe we can block the token with a hover ship? I don't know, at least right now. The problem is they have so many pump spells. Like, a 1/1 double strike doesn't sound scary, but against a mono red deck in current standard, it's so scary because they have so many ways to pump it. Opponent, you know, Valiant, their new Ember Heart Challenger, draw a Manifold Mouse that they can't cast, thankfully. That would be an issue. Going to double strike up the Ember Heart Challenger. Okay, we need to draw Voltborn Tyrant would be our best draw. Voltborn right now would be very, very good. Removal would also be fine. We take a removal spell. This is just the mana. It's the all mana game. Llanowar number 3. We have drawn 3 Llanowar Elves, 2 unidentifiable hover ships, and then lands. What a weird draw. I mean, that's what makes Magic so good, though. You never know, right? You never know. Like, sometimes you're turn 3 Progenitusing. Sometimes you just draw the Llanowar Elves. Opponent, Ember Heart Challenger, pumps it, Valiants it, finds a land. The good news is, if they give Double Strike, they're not giving Trample, and then we can start fish chumping. Opponent, getting in. Well, 1, 2, 3. Make a fish? Make a fish to block the mouse? Unfortunately, we don't have enough mana to Fountain Port, right? Yeah, it'd be nice if we could sack it, but we're a summoning sick elf away. Well, I mean, we still soak up 6 damage, which is good. If they found a Monstrous Rage or something, we'd be Cultivator's Caravan. What can we say that would throw our opponent off? Squid? How about Squid? Cavern on Squid. That's going to make our opponent think. Oh, we're just trying to burn away a few of our opponent's brain cells. Puzzling why we would possibly name Squid with our Cavern. Maybe they forget to cast a pump spell or something. Opponent, Heartfire Hero. We're in the long shot plan. Opponent gonna haste it up. And another one. The funny thing is our opponents kind of flooded out this game too. But they're flooding out into a lot of damage, and we are not. Manifold Mouse going to double strike. Come on, fish. Save us, fish. 1, 2, and 3. Make a fish. Aw. Let's crew a hover ship. Our opponent is going to get to Manifest Dread, but I think this makes the most sense. Block there, block there. If we can actually trade with the Heartfire hero, that'd be nice. And then we can sack the fish to draw a card. Yeah, our opponent is just not running any pump spells. If they drew pump spells, we'd be super dead. But so far, we have just dodged all the pump spells. Well, okay, Heartfire hero down. Unidentifiable hover ship doing some work. We are still very close to being dead, though. We still need to draw like a Vaultborn Tyrant or something, and we need to draw it pretty soon. Hired Claw to add to the damages. And opponent passing. Oh, come on, deck. Yeah, all right. Well, sometimes you just only draw lands. Well, we get to bring in some pretty good sideboard options. We get some life gain. We get some more removal. Go down. It's going to be hard to find room for all these cards. That's going to be the issue. Probably got to cut some caravans. Probably going to have to cut most of the Archdruid's charms. Maybe a Smuggler's Surprise and one more cat. Run it like that. All right. On to game number 2 against Mono Red. Well, I mean, we can't run worse than we did last game. I don't think that's possible. This end looks fine. Scavenging Ooze might be good. If we can get some creatures to start trading off. We do have 2 very expensive cards, but if we can find a Kona, those cards could become very good instead of very bad. Yeah, Kona would be our best draw. We would love to find a Kona. Smuggler's Surprise could also be good eventually, but that's a little bit in the future. Well, Lush Portico. Let's mill the frill back. We already got the Ooze. Getting a creature in the graveyard's fine. Opponent. Heartfire hero. Plus, we really just want to find the Kona. We're going to run out the Ooze. Just have a body. Have a body on the board. Mountain. And... well, alright. That's a lightning strike that's not hitting our face. So that's something at least. Vaultborn Tyrant. Well, let's play the Verge. Get rid of the Heartfire hero with our UFO. Alright, Kona. Kona off the top. Kona off the top for a turn 4. What would we put into play? It might just be Progenitus. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 17. And Hired Claw. Wow. Okay, that's Kona. Oh, now we actually have to make the choice. Oh, either one of these. I mean, I guess we can't go wrong. Well, let's crew up this unidentifiable hover ship. Get in, hit ya. And, I mean, we're going to do what we came here to do. I don't even know if it's correct, but can you beat a Progenitus, Mono Red? Turn 4 Progenitus, can you beat it? We have protection from Hired Claw and from Emberheart Challenger and everything else, literally everything else in your deck. I imagine, ooh, all right, Manifold Mouse. I mean, the good news is, if this Kona lives, we get to do it again next turn with the Vaultborn Tyrant. I imagine our opponent can't really attack here. Opponent. Ooh, passing. Okay. Progenitus. All right, another Heartfire hero. Can we attack? I mean, we have to attack, right? Well, let's crew the hover ship. Step 1. Kona is actually kind of wild. The issue of it dying, like, before it gets to put something into play, has not really been a big issue. That has not happened very much. Sometimes we don't draw it, or we don't draw a finisher. Like, that stuff happens, but dying to removal has not been a big issue. Well, okay, hit ya. Vaultborn Tyrant for free. And draw a card, gain some life. Wow, and another hover ship. Okay, this is like the dream draw. Get rid of that double strike. Manifold Mouse down. And I guess we play an elf. All right, opponent. All right, Mono Red. Good luck to you, friend. Good luck to you, Semi. Show us something good. Oh, all right. Well, turns out, turn 4 Progenitus. Good enough against Mono Red, apparently. Yeah. I mean, if we're playing Authority in of the consoles in our sideboard, this is a matchup for it. The only thing is, like, we just don't have that much room to bring in all these sideboard cards. We have so many sideboard cards that are good in the matchup. They're almost, like, too many. I'm afraid we're going to, like, water down our main plan. That's my concern, right? But I guess we can go down a Tranquil Frillback and try it like that. All right, on to game number 3, and this hand is not very good. This one we can keep. Probably just Llanowar. I think Llanowar is just going to die anyway. The split up could be good. We do need to find another white source, but the split up... Higher Claw for our opponent. Ugh. Second Progenitus. We never really need the second Progenitus. You'd only have one anyway. Even with Smuggler's Surprise, there's no point in putting 2 into play. Opponent gets in with the Higher Claw, pings us down to 18. And Heartfire Hero. And a land. Awkward tap land. Scene of the crime. Oh, opponent. Oh, Manifold Mouse. That's not great for us. Gonna pump the Heartfire Hero. Smack us for what, 6? Okay, we kind of need to draw the white mana now-ish. Oh, punished. Punished by the Cena that we can't even cast our Archdruid's Charm. This is pretty rough. Opponent, Manifold Mouse on the Heartfire Hero. Are we just dead? 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to 3. Maybe 2 even. We're like dead to a lightning strike, I think. Yeah, Manifold Mouse is just so much damage if you can't kill it. All right, gonna pump the Hired Claw. I mean, in theory, white mana split up. Still probably gonna die because we gotta hit a white source. We gotta hit a white source to have any chance. We're at 2. Ugh. All right, tapped white source. Draw for the turn. Llanowar and dead. Progenitus time. See if we can maybe turn 3 of Progenitus off of Kona. And let's see. Yeah, we're not keeping that 5-lander. All right. Llanowars and Vaultborn Tyrants, I guess. The hand's medium. Opponent. Oh god, control. Are we up against a control deck? Well, let's play a Llanowar. Go. All right. Probably some sort of up the beanstalk deck. Wow, that's a lot of Vaultborn Tyrants. Once we get to 7 mana, Boney, you better look out. Because the dinos are coming. The dinos are opponent going to. Well, okay, 7 mana, a little further away. Get lost on the Llanowar. Well, all right, pass the turn. Ooh, oh, wow. We're finally going to see Archmage's Charm shine. Just ramping here is spectacular. Just 3 mana, grab a land. We can even grab, like, maybe a Surveil land? Fountain Port. Fountain Port's probably the most value. Ooh, all right. Wow, we're actually getting there. Let's make a fish, crack a map on the fish, see what's on top. Cultivator's Caravan. I don't think we need that at the moment. Well, let's crack map number 2 on the fish. All right, opponent cannot stand that value. Leyline Binding on the fish to fizzle, not even the map, just the second map. Well, all right, Vaultborn Tyrant, part 1. I mean, we got a plan for the next 3 turns, though. All right, opponent's just Leyline Binding flooded there. Gonna kill the Vaultborn Tyrant. Well, we get to draw a cat. Opponent passes. Well, play a land. Vaultborn Tyrant. You got more Leyline Bindings? Are you regretting, opponent? Oh my god, that's Smuggler's Surprise. I wonder if they're regretting using that Leyline Binding on a fish for minimal reason. Overlord of the Flood Pit's gonna do a little drawing, a little discarding, a little impending. Another Archmage's Charm would be fine. We could get back our Vaultborn Tyrant. Progenitus would be insane if we could just, Smuggler's Surprise, Progenitus, and Vaultborn Tyrant. About it. Down to 13. And let's run out the Llanowar and pass the turn. I mean, we might be able to just close out this game. If our opponent doesn't have like a Sunfall or something, the Smuggler's Surprise should just be game over. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Okay. Well, I mean, that is some blockers. Is it enough blockers? Opponent passing. Unimpending. Well, Smuggler's Surprise. Yeah, I mean, you put a couple creatures into play. I guess we can also go hexproof. There's no reason not to. All right, Smuggler's Surprise. 2 modes. Vaultborn Tyrant number 2, and I guess Kona to draw some cards. Not bad. Draw 4, gain 12. Ooh, there's the charm too. Oh, that should probably do. I don't know if we literally have lethal here. I don't think we literally. Well, do we? No, they can go to 1. Actually, wait, can we just win with... Yeah, we're going to do the fun thing. Exile Leyline Binding. Get back a Vaultborn Tyrant. Draw a bunch of cards. Oh, there's Progenitus too. Oh, the hits just keep coming. 2 Progenituses. Cultivator's Caravan. We might be setting ourselves up for the most brutal Sunfalling in the history of Magic, but look at this turd. Look at this turd. Fire up the Caravan, tap the Kona, go to combat, hit ya, hit ya. Man, if they have Sunfall, I'm gonna cry. I might actually literally cry. Down to 3. And, well, Kona says, how about a Progenitus? Draw 3, go up to 55 life, herd migration. That doesn't matter. The question is, do they have a Sunfall? That is the only thing that matters. The only thing. Discard a land. All right, Sunfall or bust. All right. Well, let's do a little tutoring. Oh boy, we are losing a lot of good cards. Yeah, sure. Sure, Sunfall. Progenitus' best friend, Sunfall. Opponent, gonna do some unimpending. Well, we draw Cavern. So, let's play Kona. Hopefully we still win this. I mean, we're at 55. We gotta be able to get in 6 points of damage, right? It would be insane should we not be able to get in 6 points of damage. Plus, we have another Progenitus we can put into play. Let's play the cat. Draw a card. We're going to attack. If they fire up their Incubate, that's fine. All that really matters is, do they have a second Sunfall? That is the only thing that matters. Well, Kona. Progenitus number 2, because apparently protection from everything is not always enough. Draw a card. Surveil land. Yeah, to the graveyard. All right, opponent. Come on, not another one. Not another one. Zur. Does that change anything? So they can fire up their things with lifelink. Oh, that's not enough because they don't get to get any life with just one of those. Yeah, we're gonna block that real quick. Soak up that damage. Protection from everything. Might not be good against Sunfall, but pretty good against a 7/7 lifelink. Combat and Progenitus. I mean, yeah. Done. I think our opponent maybe didn't realize what everything meant and thought they could block or something, but the Progenitus, maybe not the best against Sunfall, good against pretty much everything else. Well, let's bring in more things that can kill enchantments. Maybe the Invasion of Gabakon. And I can't believe we built that huge portal to get Sunfall. I mean, I believe it because we're playing standard, but that was going to be so big. Yeah, I guess we just cut the cats. Ugh, what else? Yeah, hover ship, I guess. Run it like that. All right, on to game number 2. So we're going to be on the draw for this one. And, that hand seems fine. Actually, this hand's like a big thing away from being great, right? So we can hover ship into Kona. Well, there's a Vaultborn Tyrant. Actually, it's going to be a turn slower because of the tap land. Middle of the land where elves, pass the turn. Yeah, so it's going to be turn 4 by the looks. But that's still pretty good. And Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Gonna get their ramp on. Well, play the land. And we're just gonna get down the Kona. Cannot tap it at the moment, but no Sunfalls, no Leyline Bindings. Opponent, land on Avatar. Oh boy, up the Beanstalk and then Leyline Binding. That sounds like something a Dirty Domain player would do. Ooh, split up. All right, splits up the Kona. Well, let's play the Fountain Port. And I guess we get in for 1. Hit you down to 18. So we can Fountain Port this turn. We'd like to draw another big thing. If we can draw another big thing, then the Smuggler's Surprise becomes pretty good. Just putting 1 Vaultborn into play doesn't seem great, though. Opponent, draws, discards. Well, let's draw a Progenitus. That would be the best. Just draw the Progenitus, put it into play, put an end to these shenanigans. Opponent. Cavern again and passes. Now we draw a little removal. I think we just hover away this Overlord though. Hover away the Overlord and then get in with the fish. I think we leave back the Land of War because we might want to use it to sack the fish to draw a card. plains for our opponent, and all right, more overlords. Up the beanstalk's so insane. That card's so insane. Opponent gonna draw some more cards. Well, I don't think we're gonna outdraw our opponent this game. That much is becoming clear. We might be able to out-Progenitus them, though. Now let's kill the Overlord. I feel like we've been attacking a lot, but for basically 0 damage. Oh, alright, there's a land. Let's just hover ship. Alright. That's kind of brutal. I guess we stay aggro. Hover ship. Hit you for 2. This does mean we can't really stop this Overlord, so opponent's gonna keep ramping. And 6s us, makes another land. Is this Vaultborn Tyrant gonna be enough? I'd still just love to draw the Progenitus. We got the negate out of our opponent's hand. Ugh, Overlord of the Mistmores. It's so funny. Some people play their Overlords almost always as enchantments. This opponent, direct opposite. They're just jamming them as creatures every chance they get. And it seems to be working here. We're down to 12. Maybe the Vaultborn. Oh God, sir. Okay, that is also bad for us. Well, I mean, Vaultborn Tyrant time. Not much else we can do. Draw a card. Archmage's Charm or Archdruid's Charm. I mean, I guess that can snipe something. Can get the Up the Beanstalk. Can get the Overlord. This Sir's an issue though. Opponent, Shadowy Backstreet. And Surveil Land. It seems like, wow, another one. It seems like the mana for our opponent's deck should be pretty bad, but the Overlord of the Hauntwoods just really carries. Like, it lets you play your Zur in your band deck and get away with it. Well, opponent, big attack, getting in there with everything. So I guess we chump and, yeah, let's do it this way. Chump the green Overlord, kill the white Overlord. We'll get another Vaultborn Tyrant. Hopefully draws us into Progenitus or more Vaultborns. I guess we need more beef. We need more big things. Vaultborn Tyrant into more Smuggler Surprises. All right, Smuggler Surprise with no big things though. Not nearly as good. Up the Beanstalk draws with the Overlord. So many Overlords. So many Overlords. Come on, deck. Might be a little late for the Pawpaw to save us. So we can tutor. We could tutor. But then we don't have enough mana. Yeah, we just gotta try to high roll, I think. Smuggler's Surprise. Mill 3. Very good cards. Some are Mill 4. Very good. 2 lands. We always hit. Wait, do we hit Progenitus twice? I'm pretty sure we hit a Progenitus. It shuffled back in. We hit another Progenitus. And then hit 2 lands. Oh, God. That is the one non-bow with this deck. Is just the Progenitus not being able to be found by the Smuggler's Surprise. Although it's very good being able to be put into play by it. Well, all right, Paw Patch. Get rid of the green Overlord. I mean, we're technically not dead, although the problem is the Zur, right? Like, that's the real issue, is the Zur just comes down, turns on these Overlords with lifelink, and I think that just, and the Leyline Binding, okay. Yeah, that definitely ends us then. The Zur plus the removal is, that's enough. Whew. Can we take down a pile of Overlords with Progenitus and Kona? Yeah, we're gonna one charm. Running like that. All right, here we go. So we're on the play for game number 3. Interesting matchup. Both decks have some very, very big top end cards. Ooh, all right. Well, I mean, we have the Kona. We have Archdruid's Charm, which can find us a finisher. We don't have a vehicle at the moment. That's the thing we're lacking. Oh, wow, that's Progenitus. Okay. Well, Archdruid's Charm. Snag us a Surveil Land? Surveil Land's nice. Not only does it let us surveil, we'll keep the forest, but it also turns on all of our verges. So the only thing we're missing is a way to tap the Kona. That is the one thing we're missing. Do we play the Kona and just hope? Let's be responsible. We're just gonna blow up the Beanstalk. Play another Llanowar. And hope that we can draw into Cultivator's Caravan would be the best. That would just let us Kona right away, but we will take any of our vehicles would be good. Opponent. Land. Overlord of the Flippants, enchantment mode. Sure. And discards a land. Ooh, Tranquil throwback. Oh, do we Kona? Are we setting ourselves up for a crushing disappointment? Well, we're going to play the Kona. We're going to attack you. Hit you. Down to 15. If Kona lives, life is good. If Kona dies, well, then at least we got the other stuff going on. Up the Beanstalk, part 2. Well, we have another answer to that, thankfully. Our opponent has so many cards in hand, we might start activating Lauren. Wow, opponent's passing? All right. I mean, they got to discard a hand size anyway, so this is almost a free roll to activate. Not really a free roll because they're kind of looting, but all right, we get a Paw Patch formation, which is actually very good. Is Kona just going to pop off? Is this just happening? The fair is Kona just play it and attack with it? There's no way. There's no way. Well, that's a Tranquil throwback. Get rid of that up the Beanstalk. And, I mean, I guess we might as well gain some life. So, blow up the Beanstalk number 2. Gain 4. And, well, let's see if they got it. We're going to go to combat. We're going to attack with everything. I feel like if they had the Leyline Binding, they would have cast it before we blew up. All right, opponent has a Get Lost. That's also fine. Well, hit ya. Down to 13. Progenitus Dreams on hold for now. Man, we need like one turn with Progenitus. Opponent. Passing. Unimpending. Well, let's keep seeing if we can, we're see if we can help our opponent hit their land drop. We're nice like that. Everybody draw. Opponent, though, has to discard. Fountain Porte. Well, let's crack a map. Into a land. If we find something we want, we can't just draw right away with this Lauren. Crack a map. Even more lands. Well, go to combat. Get in, hit ya. We're going for the boring fair win. Hit ya down to 6. I mean, they could go land Sunfall. That would be pretty bad. Wow, expensive Leyline Binding. All right, gonna hit the Tranquil throwback. Sure, I mean, we have multiple answers to Leyline Binding, so we can get back our throwback if we need to. Not sure that we even need to at the moment, though. Surveil land. All right, they found their land, a little bit tapped, but they did find it. What is our opponent's plan? I'm so confused. Well, let's get back the Tranquil throwback. All right, opponent does have a negate. We can still blow it up but get lost, though it's a little worse because then we can't pay. Oh, let's draw. Just another land. Oh, man, are we going to win with Progenitus in hand? All right, opponent gets their over. Oh, there's a Smuggler's Surprise. Oh, that changes things. That does change things. Well, let's get back to Tranquil throwback. Opponent has another negate. Okay, well, that's fine, because what we really want to do here is just put this Progenitus into play on our opponent's end step. So we're just going to pass. We're going to pass. 2 negates out of hand. Can Progenitus come through one last time? Opponent, Zer. All right, going to try to lifelink up the dorks. Oh, they're leaving up mana too? All right, gets in. Puts our opponent up to 11. Does this change the math? So Progenitus hits for 10. In theory, Lauren and Llanowar can get the last points of damage. All right, opponent hits us down to 19. Well, opponent, surprise. Yeah, it is time for Progenitus. No more negates, please. Whew, we got there. Usually it feels bad to only put one creature into play off Smuggler's Surprise, but when that creature is Progenitus, I guess we should have drawn first in case we had a creature. When that creature is Progenitus, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's hover away the Zur, I guess, and then swing for lethal. Opponent. Gonna turn on the Leyline Binding. Doesn't matter though, because there's no lifelink. I think our opponent need to activate the Leyline Binding and attack, but I guess they didn't know Progenitus was coming, and that is how you Progenitus off of Kona. Kind of works. So what do we learn this week about Kona in Progenitus in Standard? And record-wise, I believe we went 3-4 with the deck, so kind of a medium, semi-competitive record. The important thing is, we actually got to pull off the turn 3 Progenitus, and it was as spectacular and as game-ending as we were hoping it would be. I will say, Progenitus itself, I think it's actually kind of a medium-powered finisher. It is maybe one of the greatest mythics that Wizards has ever made. I love the card. Like, everything about Progenitus just screams mythic. You have this massive 5-headed Hydra. You have the double Wooburg mana cost. You have protection from everything. Just one of the best lines on any Magic card ever. But it turns out that in competitive Standard, protection from everything actually means protection from some things, but not Sunfall. So we definitely had games where we'd play a Progenitus and it would still get dealt with and we'd go on to lose. But really, the card's just so cool that it kind of makes up for those downfalls. I will say Kona, super impressive. Like, I think the plan of building around Kona, maybe not with this exact deck. We'll have to, do some more brewing with it. But it turns out that Kona was actually very effective with Cultivator's Caravan and Unidentified Hovership. One of my worries was, would Kona just die before we got to our second main phase? Would we play and our opponent would just immediately go for the throw it or something? But it turned out that in practice, that never happened. The ability to play Kona, crew a vehicle with it, and just immediately go to our second main phase and play a Volborn Tyrant or Progenitus, that actually worked pretty much every time. And remember, we also still have Omniscience in Standard. And I thought about playing Omniscience in this deck, but we just don't really have the pieces, nothing to chain into it. So I think that Kona is a card worth keeping in mind. During spoiler season, I was really high on this card, and now that we've actually gotten a chance to play with it, I think that Kona might be a bit of a sleeper. So remember, this card's going to be in Standard for 3 more years or something. Sooner or later, at some point, Kona could be really good. But anyway, that is Kona in Progenitus. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.